There we go. All right. I was frozen from the last live stream. I didn't reload my camera. What's going on, everyone? Welcome. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome, Dojo crew. Hope you're doing well. Happy Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday. Happy Crypto Tuesday. Welcome to Dano Crypto. If you're new on this channel and on this live stream, welcome. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems, and we are just trying to educate the new people coming in, and we're trying to keep the people that have been in crypto to just keep them in. You got to stay in crypto because this is the best place to be right now, as you can tell. And if you haven't been seeing what's been all the bullish news that was released yesterday, and all these different crypto companies and non-crypto companies that didn't even start with crypto are offering on-chain tokenized stocks and options for people to be able to get exposure into the stock market 24 hours a day, 7 days a week through the tokenized stocks. Now, we're going to get into this because this is huge, guys. So Robinhood being one of the big ones of the tokenized stocks. And now we have Kraken. I believe it was Kraken. We're going to go through the list of all the different crypto companies that now are offering these tokenized stocks. And we're going to get into some of the other stocks that are publicly traded on the stock market that are involved with crypto that are seeing a lot of traction and a lot of liquidity coming in. And not necessarily that have to do with crypto, but possibly also with AI. It's a huge narrative, but real AI, like what the government's going to be using. So we're going to get into that. Hope you guys are doing well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, ding the bell, do all those things. And we just want to, let's see. My chat is not working for some reason. Hold on, let me get the chat up. There we go. Now we got the chat. We got the chat up. Let's actually extend this out a little bit. We want to extend this out. Let's do this on this first page here. And we're going to make this nice and big. Put that there. Put it down there. I like to have the comments come up on the side here so you guys can see them. All right, so let's get to it. Man, we did not fully prepare like our layout here. There we go. Wall Street on chain, baby. So that's the name of the game. Wall Street has always been destined to come on chain, because if they are going to stick with the times and update and continue to build, then basically that's what Solana has been around to provide, as the NASDAQ on chain. So Solana is proving itself to be a multi-cycle chain that is going to be used on a daily basis by the biggest money in the world. So guys, let's get into it. So Bitcoin taking a little bit of a plunge. It's kind of taking a cool off here. If you think about it, it was really trading strong through the weekend. And you can see here and we're going into the 1st of July, kind of taking a little bit of a plunge here. Market open was a fake out. Because we had been trading a little sideways, and then we hit this point here where right before market open, had a little bit of momentum, and then we dropped down. We did this fake little move to the upside about 30 minutes after market open, and now you can see that we hit passed through this 1061. We had this level mark. This 1061 was some support here that brought us back up into the 108s right here. Pretty decent support, but now we're kind of just falling through the floor here. And why? I mean, there's not really any major bad news or anything like that. It's not like there's any crazy things happening. It's more so we have a lot of bullish things happening, and this is usually when the market makers like to kind of destroy us a little bit. The only reason why we've been stopped from breaking a new all-time high already again is because of Binance and Coinbase, and mostly Binance sending millions and millions of dollars of Bitcoin to be sold offshore in Wintermute, the market maker house, and it's just what it is. It's what's happening. It's not it's not retail selling. That's not who's selling. It's really the exchanges. And we're going to get into how that game is going to eventually stop, and there's not going to be enough Bitcoin for them to be able to do this. And the exchange reserves of Bitcoin is consistently going down over time. It's consistently going down over time whilst the price has been going up. So we're going to get into this. All right, so let's see how many people are watching. Guys, we got 9 people on YouTube, so make sure you're hitting the like button. If you don't hit the like button, you come in, YouTube will not put this out. It will not put it out to new people. We are trying to catch these new people with the net, the crypto net of the live stream. That's how people did it back in the day, years ago. You just went live every single day, and you provide a platform and a place for people to come where they can learn and they can hang out, ask questions. We can go through the Bitcoin price. We can go through what's happening and get a pulse on the market with the news. And so we're going to talk about the ETFs. We're going to talk about altcoins. We're going to talk about future price action. We're going to pull up some altcoins that we've been following. A lot of it has to do with DeFi protocols and DEXs and some memes. And also a lot to do with stable coins. So stable coins is a big topic of discussion. It's the hot narrative. And the reason being is because these institutions and states and countries, specifically in the United States, were getting that Genius Act very, very close to being approved fully. So it's went through almost every single judiciary legislation, thing that has to happen. Like, I'm not going to begin to fully try and explain it because, I'm still trying to figure it out myself, but it has to go through these levels where it has to go through the House, and then it's eventually going to be at the final doorstep of getting approved. So it's going to be really interesting when it gets fully approved, the Genius Act. 'Cause I don't know if it's fully approved yet, but it's very close. So once that's pushed through, then the next step is going to be the Bitcoin treasury and stockpile, whatever you want to call it, for the United States, because that's what, according to Cynthia Lummis, that's like the playbook. They're like, let's get the stable coins out of the way first, then we'll go into how much crypto we're going to be buying, and what crypto, how we're going to use the either gold reserves to then buy Bitcoin instead of using taxpayer money. Because that was the big question, was like, okay, if the government's going to buy Bitcoin, are they going to be buying it with taxpayer money? And that was the thing that we were like, well, no, we don't want that. We don't want it to be through a way that doesn't make sense. It has to actually be part of it. It's hard to explain, I guess, because there's so many different ways that they could buy it, but if they buy it in a certain way, it might not be as good as if they, quote, sold gold reserves or gold certificates or gold bonds or whatever it may be that the government is holding right now into Bitcoins. That is what I've kind of been picking through this stuff when it comes to the legislation and why they're doing what they're doing, and also to not sell the confiscated Bitcoin that we have, because most of the Bitcoin that the government holds is confiscated Bitcoin, which is hilarious. So this is all coming down the pipe. This is all stuff we're going to try and focus on, and I hope you guys are having fun. And right now, I know just from metrics and social risk alone, people don't really care about crypto right now. It's the people that are here right now are the people that have been here. They might have a mental issue. They might be a little crazy. And this is who's in crypto right now. It's not really new people. I'm preaching to the choir, essentially. But we have to come here every day and preach to the choir, because guess what? It's just like a church, baby. People walk in the door every day. It's an open door. And if you want to come and learn from the Church of Crypto, you come in to the live streams, because we're here every day. So that's what we're doing. And so we know this to be true. We know the interest is low, but if you don't build something as when interest is low, then what makes you think you're going to come in and be the person that people want to come to? If you're coming in when interest is high, and that's it. No, you got to build something when it's boring as hell, when no one's here, because then you will be the last person standing out of the rubble when retail euphoria comes in, which I know will come. And Ozzy says all those descriptions that I described of a crypto person, he said, I am all of the above. Shout out to Ozzy. We'll pull up one of his altcoins. Yesterday, he was tipping me off on the partnership with Superverse and UFO Gaming, and we're really into the gaming narrative too. We'll pull up some of our tokens that we've followed over time, and we'll go through those. Might help you start to build a list of niche stuff. And yeah, it's been cool just getting kind of the pulse here, see what people are researching, what they're looking at. And yeah, we just know that times right now, it's really funny that this is the most boring times where people quit, where no one's interested, but it's the time you should be paying attention the most. We've learned this over the past cycles, and since we've been in crypto since 2021, this is just how it is. This is just how it is. So we know this to be true. All right, so let's get into it. Let's get into the Bitcoin price right now. The Bitcoin price is kind of taking a cool off here. It's taking a cool off. Like I said, we were trading pretty strong through the weekend and actually had some decent weekend action. And even going into Monday too, it was pretty, not too bad. Like the price action was pretty decent going, and kind of was just a little sideways though, going into Monday. But now going into July, we're kind of opening up July with a little bit of volatility from a cool off here at 107. But if volume could come in and we could just continue, just maybe even just continue going sideways, I would be okay with that. I'd rather it go sideways than start to go, a major dump to the downside, hitting, a possible area of 103.9. And we also have this area right here is probably where, if anything, we're going to get longs liquidated, would be in this area. And I bet it would match up with the liquidation areas on the liquidation heat map. You go to liquidation heat map, and this is a great tool for you guys to use if you're trying to figure out where the market is trying to liquidate longs or shorts. You can see that we have some action here. We'll go to the 12-hour, and you can see that right at 104. See, we're sitting right at this price right now, but you can see there's a lot of action and liquidity here at 103. But it looks more so, but I'd say the shorts and the longs are pretty even, because this is where the shorts liquidations would be happening at a high level, would be at 107.8. And then here, this is actually looking pretty good and has more of a chance of the price only hitting about to 105.4, because you can see here there's a high liquidations happening for longs at 105.4, and we have the price now sitting at 105.7. You can see we could get the price going down to liquidate some of the longs at 105.4, which would be, whoop, I didn't want to post that. What happened there? I used the wrong key. But now I know how to quickly post text on there. That's cool. All right, but we've also told you guys about this particular bearish case scenario, because the nerd Robert is pointing out Bitcoin will go below 78K and surprise everyone, because dominance will be going down as well. Bear market will start without alt season. Now you are saying this as if you know 100% that that's what's going to happen. You can't confidently say that you know that, because no one knows what's going to happen. I love to give a bullish and bearish case scenario, so then no matter what, you're right. That's if you're smart, you'll give a bearish case and you'll give the bullish case. I've already given my bullish case. You guys know what my bullish case is. My bullish case is that every time we get a major dip, we're going to get a lot of buying pressure. And I don't think that, because if you think 78K, that's possible. And I see where you're coming from. Now, why is he saying 78K? Where's he getting 78K from? Now, I'll show you where the 78K is coming from. You have to go to the daily chart. And you have to look where we have had the descending wedge here. Descending wedge resistance, and we actually have that line marked. So we know what you're talking about. Why do you think we have this area even circled on the chart? Like, we have this area as a potential drawback of max pain because we had that literally just this year, where we had a double top right here of the Trump pump. Now we just got another test up here. Now why does this look eerily similar to 2021? Because of the nature of a double top testing all-time high. Okay. So we have 109, and then we made another high. That's exactly what happened in 2021. It's very, very similar, because if you go back to 2021, you see it happen right here. We had a test up to all-time high, 64,000. Then we consolidated, and then we went and broke another all-time high at 69, but then we went into a super long bear market. Okay, and now look at the price here. You can see we made new all-time high, we consolidated, then we broke a new all-time high a little above what was 109, and then you could say, if it was a bearish case scenario, that we would then trade back down into 77,000, creating a quote bear market, and then we would then go up and start to trade back up into what would be 150 all-time high. Now, I just don't, I'm way more on the side that that was it. Like, your 98K right here, and also right here, like this 74,000, like, you're saying that we're going back, but that was it. I think that was it. Like, that was our chance to get Bitcoin under 100K again, and that's pretty much it. And then the signification was right here. The bears trying to push it below 100K again, and that thing got bought up so fast that it could not sustain going below 100K again. Now, that's my bull case, is that buying pressure is so hard right now because of the demand for Bitcoin. And so the demand consistently going up and the supply goes down, and the nature of the supply and demand mechanism that's at play here is so I'm more on the bull case, that the trend, yes, the trend is your friend. Okay, Eric said, what's up, Eric? Okay, he said he went to Costco yesterday. Okay. How much did you spend? What did you get? When I go to Costco, I always get like the 3-pack string of organic beef, try and get some good, a bunch of chicken. We get broth, I was getting those quiches, man. I was eating those little mini quiches like crazy. I kind of ate them too much that now I can't buy them. But always get a sheet of eggs. Got to get the bulk stuff. But did you get a hot dog? That's the question, Eric. Did you get a Costco hot dog with that soda? It always stays $1.50. Yeah, and it's just like there really is so much buying pressure, and I think the fact that they were able to get it to 98 it's like, look at the buying pressure that came in at 98K to push it right back up to get it to 108. So it just looks like also too a Wyckoff kind of accumulation. Like they brought that, like it's kind of like a redistribution of the chart. It's just like a way for them to run it down to get it right back up. It's like doot, and they've been doing it since, you know, from this all-time high right here, 112. And you can, I mean, it's a little hard to see, but if you look at it this way, you have the run up, you got the Wyckoff, you got the test right here, the test back up, then it's a fake out. You get a lower test, and then test back up, and then distribution, and then usually, if we're on the more bullish side, then the next price call would be the 115 right here, 115, and that's like pretty close and right getting. So the fib extension for Bitcoin right now, I think we're heading to 120 here in the short term. So before we see another 70 something K or going to under 100K Bitcoin, I think we're going to see 115 or 120 first. I'm more on the side of that. I get where the bearishness can come from, but these ratios, even though some like the SOL BTC ratio and the ETH BTC ratio is really strong, they're still not as strong as what Bitcoin can just keep going. And that's why dominance, like the Bitcoin dominance, you know, we haven't looked at the dominance in a little while, but man, it's just continuing to go up. So it's like, what if Bitcoin dominance hits like 70%? And breaks another all-time high, and then our alts are still getting smashed. While I mean that is gonna prove the Bitcoin maxis points so much to the fact that they're gonna be spitting, laughing, just like salivating all at the same time, because they're just like they're getting proven right all the time that like no matter what, like it's still stronger and a better case scenario to just be DCAing into Bitcoin like the entire time of a bear market and even a bull market, because you end up with a solid portfolio of your cash being preserved. I mean, and the dominance is the key here to know when to like be more alts and when to be more heavy Bitcoin. I mean, we've just seen it. Like, look, you know, when dominance was down here, our alts were like giving us all the gains. And then the moment that we started to trend up in Bitcoin dominance, all the alts just were bleeding into Bitcoin. And so in a macro perspective, like it just means that we should probably be more heavy Bitcoin and still have exposure into alts, but we have to wait for alt season when ETH starts to pump. ETH will pump. ETH BTC ratio will start to finish the V-shaped recovery back into a altcoin season bull market. And this is how we're going to get the gains that we want. But right now, it's still primarily a Bitcoin dominant market. And social risk is at the lowest it's ever been. Bitcoin's at all-time highs, and dominance is at its highest points that it's ever been. And the retail market is nowhere to be found. So that's why the market looks like it does right now. But if you're paying attention, you would know then that this is actually what's on the docket right now. This is what is the talk of the town. Internet Capital Market 2.0 on-chain stocks. Yeah. And then then we're gonna segue this into why you should be paying attention to stablecoin chains and even the layer twos. While there's people on the timeline signaling for you to pay attention to it when they're telling you not to. People like Udi, Reidenheim, or whatever, like I respect them, you know, Ruins, Ordinals, all that stuff, cool, Bitcoin, you know, NFTs. But when someone like that is telling you to not pay attention to the layer twos that are being used by the institutions to get tokenized stocks on the platform, I'm going to pay attention to it. That's ridiculous. So we've mentioned Arbitrum as one of those chains, and actually now Arbitrum is being used as a stack for Robinhood's layer 2. And also, it's going to be, the layer 2 is actually going to be on Ethereum, but they're using Arbitrum. So that's what's interesting. So it's just like Coinbase. It's just like Base. Base uses Optimism for its chain, but Optimism and Base use ETH for the gas fee. If you connect all the dots, then you'll realize that ETH will have way more multi-cycle buy pressure and sustainability than a lot of different chains for that fact, because the institutions are now using ETH and the most popular layer 2s to mint the stables and also use it for their stack to be able to get tokenized stocks on the platform like Robinhood is doing. So, whoa. Now you can build up a solid list of maybe 10, 15 coins to focus on instead of listening to the noise. Then you can focus. You can start to lock in. So the big news here is Robinhood stock tokens, blockchain infrastructure, Arbitrum with the plan to migrate to Robinhood chain, Arbitrum based. Now the availability is in the EU right now, okay? But non-US countries, this is interesting because with Kraken, Bybit, and X stocks, Solana is initial with plan to integrate multi-chains. So supported assets with Robinhood, 200 plus US stocks with the ETFs, trading hours 24/7 pretty much, 24/5 initially and plan to be 24/7 with Robinhood chain transition. The trading commission is 0%. Spread may apply. Partner, off-chain labs, Arbitrum. Then look with the Kraken, Bybit, and X stocks backed by Jupiter, Camino, Radium. So then those are a couple tokens that you can kind of keep your eye on that we've mentioned. It's all about revenue, DeFi, DEX trading volume, and which one is going to be the pick to be the main one, or at least a few of them, the top 3 that are going to be used. Denary Global, Gemini. So Gemini, we got the dividends. So that's where the institutions, this is where they are going to get their sweet yield from here. But then also going into dividends and yield and things like that. Now we'll caveat it to why the ETH staking for the ETF is going to be so important. It's going to be huge. This is what is going to send the buying pressure of the Ethereum ETF to get massive amounts of liquidity going into it, because then the institutions and the big boys with the big money are going to be able to stake it. You guys forget about the fact that when you have access to capital like these people do, it doesn't take much of a percentage of yield to get them to be paid out monthly and to basically have their money be working for them and paying them a salary every single month. They're already doing this with the dividend stocks with the stock market, but then you think once they learn about the Bitcoin ETF, which they already have, they're seeing the success of it, they see what it's done, it's record breaking. So now it's gonna be a transition now. Okay, now ETH staking, and they'll be able to stake the Solana and ETH and all this stuff directly on Robinhood. So now this is just like on an even small scale, retail able to now stake directly on Robinhood. Take it to the next level and think of someone who has $2 million sitting in the bank. All they need to do is take $100K or a couple $100,000 and put it on a staking and stake it through the ETH ETF and be paid a dividend every single month. Then when they start learning about going on chain and doing it DeFi, oh my gosh, game over. It's going to be game over. So this is how people are wondering, how is Ethereum going to get to 10K? Why should we care? Because that's why. It's all playing out right now with the tokenized stocks, all of this stuff going on chain, Wall Street coming on chain. You saw the thumbnail. Look, they are popping bottles and cheersing martini glasses right now, and we're all bearish. thinking that Bitcoin's going to go to 70K again, whilst Wall Street is literally laughing right now. It's tale as old as time. It's called the bait and switch. We get led to believe that we should be fully out of the market whilst they are in making lots of money. No thanks. I'm not going to get gaslighted. Then I'm telling you, this is the time where people quit. This is when people quit. And it's so funny that always the characters come out of the woodwork when it's that time of the market, when you should be paying attention and really, really like focusing and locking in, is when you have things that happen with Thread Guy and the vape cabal, all the different rug pull tokens and all the different extraction points and Flashy, pay attention to me here, James Wynn, people that type in all caps in their post and then all of a sudden they're posting a donation address or people are sending millions of dollars to it because they're really stupid. That is the best signal ever you should see in the markets, when you should be locking in and not getting distracted. That's the signal. That's the signal right there. It's like, what better signal can you ever get to then lock in even harder and not get distracted? And know that you had a plan. Know that these people are trying to knock you off your horse and knock you off the plan. And you need to be like Gandalf coming over the hill with the Rohirrim, ready to like destroy the Uruk-hai at Helm's Deep. Only a nerd will know exactly what I was just talking about. But that's how you have to be, guys. That's how you have to be. All right, how many people do we have watching across all platforms? It's been a ghost town, like I've said. It's been a literal ghost town in crypto. Oh, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna get through it. Okay, so let's keep going down the line of what we want to cover here. We got some funny things. Like, this is probably a lot of us. This was all of us in 2009. Instead of mining Bitcoin, we were either playing Diablo, we were either playing World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy. We were probably just gaming it up, playing Xbox Live, playing Call of Duty and Metal Gear Solid Online. Did anyone play Metal Gear Solid Online? That's what I was playing. I was playing everything. Instead of focusing on getting my money up and knowing and realizing that, like, wow, like when you're in those ages, when you're like 19, 20, 21, 22, you don't realize like how the world is set up to distract you and to make you fall into the trap of worrying about relationships, getting into debt, trying to get you to get a credit card, get you to pay a lot of money to go to school, to get a loan, to get you... Basically, like, when you're in those ages, you're so volatile and so emotional and so vulnerable that the system knows this to be true, and they turn you into a person that follows the rules and does what everyone... You just go through the line. But what you should be doing is realizing, wow, I have no responsibilities right now. I could work all day, every day. I could be learning about investing and learning that I need my money to start working for me. And that this is the prime time to learn these things right now. Not when you're 30, not when you're like coming to the end of your rope and you're about to lose your mind. Then you start learning about it. No, you learn about it at those points. So it's crazy that back then, you just, man, hindsight's 2020. You go and look back and you go, holy moly, I was worrying about the wrong things. Craziness. Give me just a second. All right. Just checking on my girly. Summer's full force, guys. Summer's full force. But we've been having fun. How are you guys surviving the summer? Are you doing okay? If you have kids, you got them in camps. Do you have them just like jumping off the roofs right now? Doing a backflip, eating a chicken nugget? All right, so let's see. Where is the this big beautiful bill. This thing is very controversial because it's big. Quote, why the Democrats and certain members of the House are wanting to read this bill like word for word. I think they already did it, but they're trying to reveal certain parts of the bill that they don't agree with. And a lot of it has to do with, on Elon's part, is just keeps raising the debt ceiling. And there's also these different like provisions in there that has to do with solar power and electric vehicles. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in this thing, and I am not going to act like I understand it all, because that's what they do. There's so much into these bills, and there's a lot of jargon and words, and they're giant. So it's hard for you to really understand what's happening and what it's going to affect. But what I'm getting from this is that it basically just raises the debt. It just increases the debt to where it's like, okay, so why does it even matter if we're trying to, quote, bring the debt ceiling down and the interest that we owe on all this debt? We're just going to keep raising it. So Elon's thing about this is every member of Congress who campaigned on reducing government spending and then immediately voted for the biggest debt increase in history should hang their head in shame. He said, and they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. So Elon is signaling that he is creating a new party, a new political party. Elon is signaling that he is creating a new political party, and he's mentioned this and has signaled this a lot now, that is going to be directly running against the Democrats and the Republicans for the next primary. So I wonder who would be helming this, and if you guys think Elon Musk is going to try and run for president. And it's really interesting because if you think about it, all the imagery and all the things, if you believe in how God works and how the universe works and how reality is shaped by these things, you see Elon in the White House standing next to the president, getting gifted the presidential key. What is that signaling? It's really, really, really interesting how if you can kind of look at things like super zoomed out and see how they're framing everything right now, we could really actually predict the future. We could predict the future. All right. Now, let's detail out the major announcement that Robinhood had was that they introduced tokenized U.S. stocks and exchange-traded funds for eligible customers in over 30 UE, European Economic Area countries. So it's just the UE. So the key features include zero commissions. The company plans to eventually migrate these tokens to a custom Layer 2 blockchain optimized for real-world asset settlement, 24/7 trading, enhanced accessibility and efficiency. And they also launched crypto perpetual futures with leverage for the EU clients as well. Now, this is for the US-based. Now, crypto staking for US and EU customers. Robinhood introduced crypto staking, which is so like Solana and Ethereum. So pretty awesome. And then we got the news of the development of the Layer 2. That's going to be using Arbitrum. Credit card, crypto credit card rewards and deposit boosts, future tokenized private company stocks, So yeah, a lot of bullish things right there. Where was the other? There was another section in here. Is it right here? Where did it go? This was specifically about the ETFs. Where's the ETFs? I had an ETF article ready. There it is. Okay. All right. So here are the upcoming SEC decision timelines to watch in crypto for the ETFs. So these are spot. So spot means the ETF aims to hold the actual cryptocurrencies. So like ADA, SOL, AVAX. The structure works under the 1933 Securities Act. The SEC treats these filings like a commodity-backed ETF, like gold. Now, the 1940 Act, this refers to the ETF structured under the Investment Company Act of 1940. It's like, this is what I think I don't understand is like, why are we going back off of stuff from the 1940s? It's freaking 2025 and we don't have a different provisions act for crypto. Insane. So undisclosed ETF structure, this means the structure has not yet been disclosed. So the current outlook, let's see, key factors that may accelerate or delay ETF approvals. Where is the list? We just had the list. Let's go to the list. Here we go. All right. Now this is the SEC further delays altcoin ETF decisions have been market and custody concerns. So we have some of the next deadlines are in July. So, but some proposals will have to wait. So the Solana ETFs, Bitwise and 21 shares is the deadline is July 6th. So that's like, we might have approvals for this literally in the next 6 days. XRP ETFs is Franklin Templeton is June 17th. So already that's passed. We had the XRP ones. I think all these XRP ones have definitely been delayed. Then we had the Dogecoin ETF. We have Cardano ETF was just filed by Grayscale. We have no other Cardano ETFs that have been filed by any other company. It was just Grayscale. So then Bitwise, I think XRP has the most number of filings per like companies. So it's like CoinShares, Bitwise, Wisdom Tree, Franklin Templeton. Also, I think 21 shares. And then we have other ones like there's ETF filings for Hedera. Then we have VanEck Solana Trust. Then we have Grayscale's Polkadot Trust. So there's a Polkadot one trust remains under review. The next deadlines are in July and then Q4. Ethereum staking amendments and hybrid ETF proposals, including those tied to Bitcoin, are still under review with decisions expected later in 2025. The SEC is still evaluating these concerns. So this is what I was talking about. Like they're just waiting for the approval for these institutions to be able to start staking these ETFs, and I think that's when we're going to see the inflow on the ETF for Ethereum is just going to start skyrocketing. It's just going to start going crazy. So we have Avalanche ETF. So the SEC's review of VanEck and Hedera's ETFs is part of the broader 2025 timeline driven by concerns over the nature of the custody. So it's like, because here's the thing, like it's not retail that's going to buy our altcoin bags. It's going to be these companies and exchanges. They're the ones buying the bags. They're going to buy our meme coins. They're going to buy our altcoins. The altcoins are underlying assets. We just need to be holding the high liquidity stuff that will pump subsequently when these things pump. It's just like we're all holding. We're not all holding, but some of us are if you're smart. You're holding strong coins on the underlying asset. Whether it be Solana, whether it be SUI, whether it be Ethereum, you are finding under that what is the highest liquidity volume traded thing on the chain. And if you're being super, you're really going for higher risk, higher reward, you're getting into a bottomed out chart where we've seen it pump. We've seen it go into the lows, and we've seen where it can go when Ethereum does what it does. And that's where you have to be paying attention. But you could make it super easy for yourself and just say, okay, if these ETFs are coming down the line And these institutions are also using Avalanche to, mint stables and do financial transactions and build. And, then this could be an easy altcoin bag to look for and to hold also because of the nature of the taxation with crypto, it being American-based blockchains like XRP, Hedera, Avalanche, Dogecoin, Litecoin, Cardano, all of that. And then you have the provision in the big bill that is crypto capital gains tax on Bitcoin transactions under $600 will not be taxed. Zero tax. So there's a lot of stuff kind of coming down the line here that we just have to have patience. We have to have patience because we're in great entry points right now in terms of the altcoins. We've done this before. You just have to go to the weekly. You go to the weekly and just look at your list of coins. Like go to the list of coins and look at how the weekly's been performing, and you can see if it's strong or not. That's what I love doing. I love going to the weekly. Look, because I follow a lot of stuff, and it doesn't mean I'm holding all of these things, but it's things I've held in the past and also what I'm still interested in. You've got things like Brett. You can see where Brett still needs to push up. I mean, it's got some strength, but it's got to get up to that 20 SMA on the band here. And then another way you can look at stuff is do the 200, just a 200-day moving average. You can do like a 200-day SMA or something like that. And if it's getting close to it or if it's trading over it, I mean, that's even more bullish. It means it's showing real good strength. But at least just for now, just put it on the weekly chart and see if it's been able to trade above the 20 EMA ribbon. And when it has, you can really see from previous years where, for instance, something like Orca, which is one of the second highest liquidity providers for the Solana blockchain in terms of liquidity pools for tokens. Orca. So how Radium, you can create liquidity pools, and most of the high liquidity tokens are on Radium. Orca is second to that. And so, and speaking of them, they recently partnered with XYO, one of our other favorite coins that we've been following since 2021. They have a liquidity pool set up on Orca. So I was like, let's go. So this is how you can build up your nice little gem list. And it has nothing to do with all what the cabal or what anyone else is trying to tell you to buy. You you are discovering this yourself, and you are building your plan and your template and thesis, not based off of what Ansem's tweeting about or what Thread Guy said or what Razmir's in the street looking like a fool trying to promote. You're just like, I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So pay attention. Pay attention to yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust yourself. As many times as I should have trusted myself, would have made a lot more money instead of getting distracted by the market. That is the best thing I can teach you guys, is to trust your own instincts. You got to trust your own instincts. All right, so we're looking at Aptos. Like Aptos is showing some strength. Aptos has been one of those chains that is being used for stables. Optimism, kind of checking that out, but it's not looking as strong as Arbitrum though. Arbitrum is actually looking pretty strong right now. Go to crypto, ARB. Let's add that, and let's look at this. Little stronger than Optimism, but then something that's been really trading up super heavy is Pingu. Pingu being one of the first ever by Canary Capital to have a basket meme coin and NFT ETF that could be coming down the pipe. First ever of its kind. Pudgy Penguins being the strongest IP in crypto that you just cannot ignore. So I could definitely see like a 21 cent, 25 cent Pudgy Penguins coming down the pipe here because this thing is just solidifying itself as a major, major brand. Definitely paying attention to that. Paying attention to Sol. Sol's looking really strong. They got that phone, 3rd generation phone coming out pretty soon. If you guys remember, the second phone had an airdrop on it, and the airdrop ended up being worth thousands of dollars, and the phone paid for itself because it had Bonk, Solana, it had things that were available on the phone. It's the only crypto company that's been ever able to break into the phone market and actually, you know, do fairly well. So that's coming. We've been watching Floki. Keeping our eyes on Floki. We're watching Radium. We're checking out Cardano, but honestly, like I've just given up on Cardano. I don't even want to focus on it. I think there's other things that have way more potential and that people are actually using. I think Cardano, people just get convinced because Charles Hoskinson is, you know, when you're a smarty pants, you can convince anyone to buy your, you know, your coin and your chain and make them think that people are using it. But it's just a fact now that Solana, I think Cardano wish it could be like what Solana's doing. And Cardano was one of the chains that constantly was giving Solana a hard time about it going down and all this stuff. And it's like, well, guess what? You break stuff enough and then you fix it and then people actually use it, it's still going to outperform your coin. So it's now it is a competition because it's not about it, like it is a competition when your money is at stake here. it kind of is, you know, because like when people are, you know, investing their money, don't give them false promises. I would say that Cardano has a decent chance to trade up back to its all-time high, but there's going to be massive sell pressure. And the only thing that's going to save this thing is if it actually gets used. What is it going to get used for? For foundation transactions and staking and cool. And you can do that with the tons of other things. But what's actually being used right now and being chosen? There's not one mention of the Cardano chain being used in all of this bullish news of institutional adoption. And I think the only thing that's going to save Cardano is if we get an app that people are actually going to use and they'll download a Cardano wallet and it might get like some Bitcoin DeFi, you know, action going on. That is the only thing that's going to save it. It's my personal opinion. Because the fact that you could have just bought Pepe the whole time makes me think that Cardano is in the basket of coins that it's like, why? Because if you're not going to focus on the actual token purchasing power and focus on the actual token, people buying the token, then who cares? Who cares about the tech? Who cares if your chain's being used to validate people's school records in Africa, in Ethiopia? No one cares. No one cares. So what's actually, I mean, XYO is being used more than Cardano. There's more nodes active on XYO than there is freaking on Cardano. So Cardano bros, come at me and I'll show you some damn facts. Plus, I think Charles Hoskinson actually got me banned off of Twitter just because I made a funny comment. Anyway, as you can see, I when I start to talk about Cardano, I don't know why, but I get angry. I feel like Alex Becker. Every time I mention Cardano, I'm like, I like XRP more than I like Cardano at this point. But I'm getting tired of getting these articles on Google, or it's on YouTube, or no, sorry. It is Google. Google has been giving me these articles that XRP is apparently going to go to $200. Somehow XRP is going to get to $200. And I did some math, and I was like, wait, the market cap of XRP got to $200 would be $13 trillion market cap. Okay? $13 trillion market cap. Now, when you look at the market cap of Bitcoin right now, the market cap is 2.1 trillion, and this has been the best performing crypto asset in the entire world, and actually the best performing asset across everything. If it's been judged by the 5-year, 10-year performance, we've done this already, Bitcoin has still outperformed everything. Only gold got very close and did perform it in a short amount of time, in a span, but over its existence, Bitcoin has dominated everything, over 150%. XRP, okay, is at a $129 billion market cap right now at $2. And these freaking articles trying to convince retail that they should buy XRP at $2 because it's going to go to $200, I think is irresponsible. Because that means the market cap would be at 13 trillion. There's no way that's going to happen unless XRP became the first pick for world banking transactions on the XRP ledger. But I don't think anything has signaled that there's going to be that much XRP adoption. Not to say that I think a conservative case for XRP that it could get to like $20. I think maybe $10 is fair. I think $10 is fair on the fib extension. But to say that XRP is going to go to $200 by 2030, I don't know where they're getting those numbers from. That means that XRP alone would be the highest valued company, over everything in the world. That means it would be worth more than Amazon, Apple, Google, Facebook. Give me a break. Come on, give me a break. That's crazy. I don't like that. So whoever's paying for these articles, stop it. Let's get real here. Because I know when I'm being a little crazy. That would be like me saying that XYO this cycle is gonna go to $10. I'm not gonna be that crazy naive and delusional. I think fair XRP could get to or XYO could get to 15 cents, and then we're probably gonna see some sell pressure. Which means, I'd even be as fair as to say, hey, it'll get to at least its all-time high and it'll get some sell pressure, and who knows if it'll continue. But so that's a good comparison. So Shibben said if you put XRP at $10, that would mean it would have a $700 billion market cap, and then that Ethereum would be at a $2 trillion market cap. So if we remember, Ethereum, its highest market cap that it ever got was at 600. Was it 600 mil or 600 billion? It got close. It got close to $600 billion market cap. So it was like $500 billion market cap. And then with XRP, I think that's all-time high market cap was in 2017 was at a 3.3 billion? Or no. Why is it? Oh, I'm not on the market cap. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, market cap 130 billion, and then you can see that we're now all-time high market cap actually was just this year. It was in January. Was at $175 billion market cap. So to get up to where Ethereum was in its all-time high, King Louis said, Dano, did you go over what Too Late Jerome Powell said? Thank you for reminding me. Thank you for reminding me, King Louis. That I did want to go over a little bit of what he said, because everyone's always wondered, like, why the Fed is just stretching out the interest rate cuts. You know, why is it stretching out?
So if Senator Warner's comment that a tariff is a tax, would that imply that then taxes could be inflationary as well?
No.
So what's the difference between a tax and a tariff then? Or do you disagree with Senator Warner's characterization that tariffs are not taxes?
I wouldn't disagree with that, but it's not the language I use. Look, this is, as I say, one time could be the base case, but in a situation like this where the process could go on for a long time, where the effects could be large or small, it's just something you want to approach carefully in a world where inflation is not back to 2%. And that's our job. If we make a mistake here, people will pay the cost for a long time. And so we're just approaching the question carefully. That's all we're doing. You know that, a majority of my committee has said that they do expect to cut rates between now and the end of the year in the remaining 4 meetings. So it's not that we're, taking a strong view that it will be inflation and not a one-time cost increase. It's just that we're going to take a careful approach to that very critical question.
So what he's saying is they're taking a careful approach, which if you look at this, according to the FedWatch tool, this is what it looks like. It kind of looks like that. In the meeting that we're going to have this month is on the 30th of this month. So it's at the end of July, and this percentage of us getting a rate cut of 0.5 this month could increase. Going into the pressure of how the president talks with Jerome Powell, they've tried to keep them very separate, and I think there's a reason for that. They don't want the president to be able to influence what the Fed does too hard, because then there could be conflicts of interest, but then there's also just a mega conflict of interest between the gap of wealth of the rich and the really rich and the really poor, due to it being really hard for regular people to access capital like rich people do. And it's all based on interest. It's all based on debt. It's all based on how we're able to borrow and use debt, because that's what they're doing. But see, we get penalized a lot heavier and don't have access to the same things in the same areas. Unless you figure it all out, unless you learn this stuff and you figure it out early and you don't get yourself trapped, then you play the same game they're doing. But in order for us to do that, we got to see the actual stuff on the ground happen. That's what Jerome Powell doesn't understand. I think he's very detached from the everyday American. I think all these politicians are very detached from what it truly actually means to work, because their work is a lot different and they get a lot different pay structure, and a lot of them are getting insider information is why their salaries and their worth is so much. Wonder why Elizabeth Warren is worth $60 million plus. It's probably something about insider trading and knowing people. But here's the thing. The rates are coming in, and they're going to be cut slowly till the end of the year. Unless Jerome Powell pivots and gets pressured enough to cut strong instead of 0.5 or 0.5 basis points or a whole basis point, because we could do 50 basis points or 100 basis points. We could do 50 basis points each time going into December, which this is kind of what it looks like. That's how it's projecting it to look, like how we're just going to be kind of slowly cutting the rates. But if we get enough pressure to then get a full basis cut, 50 or a whole basis cut before October, that could actually rally the stock market and crypto into the prices that Chamath was actually calling for. Chamath, in October 2025, having a Bitcoin price at $497,000. Pretty crazy. Now, all of those numbers are now like invalidated. Those haven't been hit yet because these are, you know, it's a little, that was a major bullish call for these numbers. But to think October, I think we could be going into $150,000 or a little more. I think that's a little bit more of a conservative, you know, I think that's a fair assessment. I think that's a fair assessment, and we go off of it by the CME chart. We've showed you the cup and handle pattern here, and this is where we think Bitcoin is going to be headed here, according to the cup and handle pattern on the weekly chart. So we'll see. We'll see what's happening. But we hope you guys are having fun on the way. Give me just a second. 140, I think we'll top out. I mean, yeah, I mean that's been my call the whole time, is that we'll hit 150. We'll see some sell pressure, and might go back down to we could crash to 110 or 120. Because like imagine, you know, we get up to 150 and we do have a nice like 30%, you know, 40% drawback. It's possible. And then our bear market low would be above 100K, which is hilarious, because then you think, okay, cool. But where are you getting this from, though, Shibman, to say there is no bull run? Because if we think about it, we had a mini bull run in 2022 and 2023 to bottom out at Bitcoin at 16,000, and think a mini bull run going up into a certain amount of price. Then we had just traded sideways for freaking 6 months and almost a year of sideways action. So we've had mini bull markets and mini bear markets inside of the cycle. So if this cycle is different and we've had all the different skeletons that we had to get out of the closet, then we still haven't hit the parabolic run yet. I mean, we haven't. Look, I'll show you in two different charts that show this. Here's the massive sideways action of Bitcoin that could look like we already hit a bear market and already hit a bull market top, but it's just been sideways. If you look at this chart, it's sideways. Look, that is all sideways action. There's no pump in there. There's no banana zone. It hasn't happened yet. The banana zone has not happened yet. According to the Binance chart, if you look at my chart on Binance, we have not banana zoned yet, not even close. Look, here's what we've done in the past after the halvings, and here's the point. Now, when I go to the CME chart, I'm going to show you, here's where we are right now. We still have 91 days. We still have up till October to really show us the supply shock. And I think it's coming down the pipe because we got, look, average Bitcoin halving returns usually peaks after 546 days. So measuring those same average days brings us to this chart matching up perfectly into October to give us this zone. Another thing to point out is that this article was last year, but it's still very relevant. Exchanges expected to run out of Bitcoin 9 months after the halving. That means that whatever Bitcoin these exchanges are trading, I don't think it's the amount of Bitcoin that they really have. The rapid depletion of Bitcoin reserves is preparing the market for a possible liquidity crisis. As reserves dwindle, the market's ability to absorb the large sell orders without impacting the price. And then the surge in institutional interest has stabilized and drastically increased demand for Bitcoin. This increase is likely to exacerbate the shortage and push the prices higher after the halving. Yeah, this is really, really interesting. So when I pull all of these metrics together, we still haven't seen the run. We still haven't seen the run, especially when I look at this. When I look at this, I love this chart because it just shows you the potential of coming out of a halving and where we could go. You can see it was very violent in the first, second, and third. It was more violent in the first, more violent in the second, more and then kind of slowed down a little bit in the third. And this, you can just see, has been the longest consolidation under fair value of cryptocurrency market cap that we've ever seen. So once we get up here, I think we're going to get up to the upper band at 46 trillion for sure. We're going to get up there. I think it's time. I like zooming out like this because this just really should give you hope and make you hodl. And know that you do need to pay yourself. You do need to take profits, but I mean, be honest with me right now. Everyone that's watching right now, do you think it's time to take profits and sell and go into a bear market? Do you think it's time right now to sell and not be in crypto and we're in a bear market? Be honest with me. Do you really believe this? Everyone watching right now, give me your honest opinion. Do you really think we're in a bear market and we should be selling right now? Put a 1 if you think so. Put a 2 if you're staying. I'm putting 2s all over the place. Put a 1 if you think we're in a bear market and you're selling crypto and you don't want to and you're going to wait, or put a 2. Exactly. Exactly. Altcoins are like, some of them are still at their bottoms because remember, like, altcoins don't go down 90%. They go down like multiples of 90% when it's like at the top, because you remember they go up hundreds of percent. So they got to go do, and they start shelving down. You're like, oh. It's like, it's tough, you know? So you're buying different bottoms all the time. You just hope that it goes up to those prices again. So, okay, cool. Well, we at least we know you guys are bullish. We know you're bullish. People on X, if you're watching on X right now, let's get into the X chat. Oh, okay. Well, actually, let's use this last portion of the live stream to do some Q&A. So let's do some Q&A. Let's start it. We're going to record the space, and then we can go back and make sure that we can see that it worked properly. So let's go microphone input right there. Check 1, 2. All right. So this is the start of the after show crypto Q&A number 2. And we're going to share the link so then you guys can pop on. And this is an opportunity for us to, as a community, talk with one another. And if you have some questions, you can just you could do it right here. This is what we're doing and what we're testing out for the live streams. It's just like a crypto after show Q&A that we'll do for the last 10 minutes of the live stream, so then we can directly hear from the community, put a voice to the name, and yeah, it's just fun. So check it out. Make sure that went to all this. Okay, so that didn't go to the Twitter one. So make sure, hey, .eth, my fellow Sproto, if you want to help me out, just post this link in here. Yo, what's going on? Let's go. You came in. All right. So now what you can do is just repost this so we can get a little bit more people in here. But what's going on? Virtuogram. What's your actual name? Because you just have a bunch of emojis as your name. That's what's funny. It's like, I want to actually, I mean, you can give me your code name. Your alias. Requested. Oh, did I not? Oh, I didn't make it to where everyone can speak.
G'day, g'day.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Beautiful Tuesday. I guess it's Canada Day. I live in Canada and shit.
Oh, you live in Canada? Okay. Oh, Canada.
Yeah, people celebrating. I'm just chilling.
Nice. Yeah, we love our fellow Canadians.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I mean, you got to
Good
be
show.
friendly with the people that are like kind of, bordered with you.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish the Middle East would learn that. Jesus, I mean.
One day.
Yeah, they're not doing that so well. But hopefully that changes. But yeah, what's going on, Ozzy? What's going on?
International hours.
So what time is it in Canada right now?
Well, I'm on the West Coast, so I'm in the Pacific. It's like 9:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
How long have I got to ask? How long have you been doing the show? Like streaming in total. I don't know how long you've been at it, but I see you almost like every day.
Oh man, gosh, I think I've been doing the live like an 82 week streak where I've been live streaming just like Monday through Friday. We were doing 2, like we were doing the 8 p.m. and that was a little tough to kind of keep that consistent because like I always battled wanting to spend time with the family or help put my daughter to bed and I would be with live streaming from like 8 to 9 and then missing opportunities to hang out with my wife and it's like do I lock in fully and then neglect my family or So,
family first for sure.
Yeah, so it was a little tough. It was a little tough to do the 8 p.m. But yeah, no, I've been doing it pretty consistent over the past like year and however long 82 weeks is.
Nice. Yeah, I think if I recall from listening to your show, you got into crypto around when I did, like 2020, 21. Like that's when I actually bought. I was watching it forever, like looking at everything, observing, but didn't make the move until 2020.
Yeah, I think that's when a lot of people got intrigued. Like we were all locked up in COVID and in our houses and, just and then the GME, GameStop, Wall Street, run on Wall Street. Like it was all these like things that were just like a perfect catalyst to get your brain cooking on like, all right, well, I gotta at least look at it,
Yeah, right. Like totally. And it really, like I've always just educated myself on the space, just watched and looked in different areas and seeing all these little things pop up what the fad is this week or whatever and different metas that came along, right? And
Yeah.
Seen ups and downs, and especially when ticker Bitcoin launched, like the Jared from Subway times, that was one of the craziest switch ups because gas was low before that, and there was like a weird, because there's always gambling, of course, in crypto, and unfortunately people were in the NFT world gambling over there. But when Jared came in, it kind of shifted everybody to like making plays on tokens because you could just in one transaction essentially, or you could move half of it at least. You don't have to move the whole unit. Gas fees were like $30-$40 for transactions. It was wild.
Dude, I remember when they were getting up to 100, 150 for a transaction, and I was like, what is happening? Like I was trying to get into some of these launches and it was damn near impossible because like every transaction you didn't know if you were going to be paying 70, 75. I actually, at the highest transaction I ever paid was $80 to try and buy this NFT. And I was like, I will never do that again. I felt like such a dunce.
Yeah, I did that in 21 with Sam Hyde's Mondo Megabits. Like I've paid lots of gas on that. Unimaginable amount, but I really, for me, like the only NFTs I really collect are true. What I believe is like art. Like I really am like it's something symbolic of an era. Like those things didn't take off. He basically abandoned the project for his Fish Tank Live and all these other things. But the art itself, like it's all like animated, handmade kind of cards, and like he's an infamous artist, so for me, it's like I'm always in the long play. Like crypto for me is the longest. I have the longest view on it.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to my grandkids for sure. Like, this isn't about, me, about me right now.
Dude, and I think it's a big mentality switch and a perception that we all have to do, because when we come into something new like this, it's easy to make it like short term and make it think like it's like a fad or something. It's like, this is something that is going to be implemented in every single facet of how we transact with everything. Art, like on-chain, stocks are tokenized, everything's being tokenized, and people make fun of you when you're like, oh, everything's on-chain. Well, it's like, it's because it's happening in front of our very eyes.
Oh, yeah. Like 10 years ago, what people expected of crypto, like they could have expected what we have right now.
Yeah.
In the news cycle today. Like, it's unprecedented, you know. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
it's all coming together.
Yeah, and it's really cool. That's why every time I've had a feeling that I was gonna like quit or take a break, I will then go into my like pit of despair, and then I realize how crazy I am for even thinking that I'm gonna quit something like this or step away or take a break. Like, no.
Yeah.
I just feel I feel even crazier to think that, because then I realize how like that we're on to something. It's like really are. We are all on to something here, being early, and I don't want to get shaken out by the FUD. You know. Yeah,
emotions are such a thing, and it's not something that everybody can get through. Like I totally understand why people would sell at different points or whatever. Like, it's an emotional toll. Like, not many people even invest on the first level. Like, people don't often invest in things like normal people. And then to have their money go up and then see it, like the emotional toll that takes. And then, oh, should I take some out? Oh, if I take some out, then it might go up. Oh, the emotional toll that takes. But, I took some out, but then it went down. Should I buy some more? And like all these learning processes that people have to go through, like, dozens of times to not have the emotional toll come through so strongly.
Dude, 100%. I'm like, you want to see something? Everything you just explained, this is what happens. See the top of my head, man? The hair is gone. I lost my hair. My hair's grayer.
Bald brothers.
Yeah, like too. Just if you could spot a crypto person from a mile away, just look at their hairline. Look at Benjamin Cohen's hairline, and you're just like, yep, he's seen a cycle or two.
Yeah, we got Dumpstar in the house. He's got a full head of hair. He's killing it. Now I'm glad I'm bald. Like, my girlfriend loves it, so I'm good. I'm groovy.
So you went UFC style.
Yeah, just shaved it
down.
Yeah. See you later, alligator.
Yeah. I don't know if I could pull that off. I mean, I'd have to have my full beard back, and then I could probably do it, because then I would look, I don't know, I'd maybe look tougher or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a vibe. Hey, if the wife likes it.
Oh, you dude. Hey, if the wife likes it, you're golden. You're golden.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's going on, everyone? Like, got a couple more people in here. We got Dumpster in here. What's good? We got Ozzy. I don't think we've ever heard Ozzy's voice, so see if they can speak. Oh, wait. I didn't I forgot I didn't make the settings on here for everyone to just be able to freely speak. I wonder if I can change that. Oh yeah, I can. Bam. There we go. Boom. All right, now everyone can just speak, but please, for the love of the YouTube algorithm and X, don't get me banned. Freaking, because like I love that Sprotos, I love Ticker Bitcoin, but sometimes that Telegram can get a little out of control, and I'm like, dear Lord.
Spicy day, yeah.
Yeah, a little spicy, but
yeah. Fortunately, yeah, I'm a good Christian boy. Not really Christian, but
yeah, same here. I rock with Jesus as well.
Yeah, Jesus is my homeboy.
It's funny. I never would have thought I would had ended up in working with the church, but I ended up working at a church for 9 years. Like, I was doing sound, audio visual technician at a church, and I ended up doing the technical director kind of stuff, and then eventually stepped away. But yeah, I was involved with the church for a while and kind of saw the inner workings, which is interesting. It kind of gave me a little bit more hope and faith about the church, because you kind of grow up and you have all these negative connotations, and obviously there's bad actors in every space, you know. There's bad actors everywhere. But then when you go somewhere where you feel like they are actually, you know, you can see the families being directly affected in a positive way, to have a community and a place that they feel safe, and, you know, so there's all kinds of great aspects about it. And sometimes you have to see the inner workings and see it for what it is to really actually, you know, have the, you know, a different perception about it.
Oh yeah, like, and people, I feel like, do just have opinions that they are unsupported. They've never witnessed anything personally or whatever. It's just blanket statements, or like put them in pigeonholes. And it's like, all right, I love everybody, I really do. Like, to me, it's just fascinating. It's like a big play, you know, and everybody's got their role.
Yep.
In this grand play, everybody and everything. I can't pretend to understand what it is, you know. I'm just like, this is just a great big play.
Yeah. Yeah. But what I think about, what I've always liked about Jesus and Christianity is that you can always come back. Like, that's what's cool. It's like you can always, like, you might fall off the path and you might leave, but you're always welcomed back. And that's what's like, that's the beauty about it. It's like Jesus, he's like, he's always there. He's never like, you left me and I'm gonna, you know, all the shame and the whatever. It's like, no, it's all grace. It's all like, we're here no matter what.
Infinite forgiveness.
Yeah. At least that's what I've gathered from it.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. Even at the buzzer beater, you know, like, it's for real. Like, if you're on your last moments, you still can shoot that buzzer beater. Get into heaven.
Yep. That's funny. But what's anyone else wanna speak? Anyone else wanna get some stuff off their chest? We got a couple more minutes. We got about 5-10 more minutes. This is a new thing. We're testing this. It's at the end of every stream. We do a like a 10-15 minute Q&A discussion breakdown. Here's some you know, stuff directly from you guys. So
yeah, the stock tokenization stuff. So like, there was news this morning. I just kind of gleaned it quickly. I didn't really look at it, but you went over it. I saw a little bit on your stream. Yeah,
I went over it. This is kind of the breakdown. The main one, I think, that had the biggest news headline was Robinhood, because they released U.S. stocks tokenized for Europe. So it's kind of like, it's crazy, because if you think about it, now it's like people are getting access to the stock market of these companies through the tokenization, but then they'll be able to trade it 24 hours a day. That's wild. That's crazy. Yeah.
It's trippy. It is trippy. That 24-hour thing, they definitely want to do. You can tell.
Yeah, look, trading hours 24/7. Look, tokenized stocks, Bybit, Kraken, Gemini, 24/7. They want 24/7 on-chain NASDAQ trading, and that's essentially what Solana is. That's their like main mission. They're like, we want to be like NASDAQ on-chain, 24-hour spot, perps, DApps, everything. You know. Honestly, that's why I was like, I'm gonna keep Solana as a neutral bullish coin. That if it can survive all that FUD and the FTX like crack right here, because look, this is a cup and handle pattern. If you're looking at this chart, if you're still watching the live stream here, and you look at Solana on the weekly, this crack in the bowl here of the cup and handle, or of the cup, that was all FTX capitulation market destruction. It's the only reason why there's this like leak here. But if you look at the overall bullishness, with all this being on chain and a lot of it being Solana based, this thing's going to $1,000. I think that's how Solana gets to $1,000.
Wow.
I mean, I could be crazy, but I mean that's a 500% move to the upside, outperforming pretty much every altcoin. from its price point right now in terms of market cap and price appreciation, I think Solana has the best route of actually pulling a 400 to 500% from its point. I don't know about you guys.
Kind of like an ETH last cycle or a couple cycles ago. Or just it'll probably get pulled up on a rising tide for sure. And it's functioning. It's proven that it can function in quite a mass. It hasn't gone down in a while.
It hasn't. It hasn't. It's actually been pretty solid.
Yeah, that was the thing for me, Solana, at first. Super weary and cautious of, for sure. And
Yeah.
the FTX.
But what's so funny, and honestly, it's like it's really, I find it frustrating because you'll have people like Charles Hoskinson. He literally dogged Pulse Chain and Solana and makes it to where it's like, oh, our chain's better because we don't go down, and we have a bunch of papers published, and it's like, cool, bro. Do people use Cardano? No. Okay, so I don't care. Don't care.
Yeah.
Don't care. Like you're literally dogging because you're probably mad that people still don't care about using Cardano, regardless of the papers that you publish and your quote tech. Solana is being used quadruply more than any other chain. So what are you doing to fix that, Charles? Besides having your head up your butt?
Yeah. How much percentage of Solana's network activity you think is bots, trading bots?
With the trading bots, that's hard to tell. I don't know.
It is, yeah. And I wonder,
Yeah.
Of course, because you can do such cheap transactions that ultimately leads to people gaming it out.
Yep, it could be. Yeah, it could be a lot of that. Could be bots. I think I'm sold. Honestly, this is my personal opinion with crypto in general that the transactions of people actually using stuff. It's probably more so exchanges, bots, and people like not actually even real people that are using the chain. Like it's us, like we're using it, like we're kind of using it, but then really the actual action that's happening, it's a lot of it's just like it's exchanges. It's exchanges.
Yeah, totally. This is true. It's aggregated.
Yeah, like we're all just transferring wealth back and forth between each other, and there's not like a lot of actual new money that's coming in besides the institutions through the stable coins.
Yeah, which is definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But we're coming into awesome times. I'm super bullish. I don't know anybody couldn't be. I'm just consistently though, because like I said, this is a long-term thing. Like,
yeah,
wake up every day. I'm like, oh, what's the news today? Oh, cool. Oh,
yeah,
maybe buy more. All right.
Yep. Well, I mean, the nerd Robert over here. He's the nerd Robert. He thinks we're in a bear market. Who else thinks we're in a bear market? Shibman. I don't know who there's a couple people that watch the channel that they're like, we're never going up again. Never.
Like zoom out.
That's what I have to do when I feel like that. I just look at the weekly chart and I go, okay.
Yeah.
Just go, all right. Just still have to believe. Have to believe.
Well, yeah, and you compare that to the devaluation of fiat that's gone over the years with inflation. It's a pretty good place to just have a little bit of your safety money in some crypto. It's more reliant than them printing more money because we all know they're going to do that.
We got Ozzy in the house. What's up? I hear a voice.
Yo. What's up? What's up?
What's going on, Ozzy? Yeah, it's so cool. Now I can see. I was like, I want to hear everyone's beautiful voice and put a voice to the name. It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, well,
Harry Potter, Obama, Sonic 10, he knew. Woo!
Let's go.
it took me that long to get me bloody mic sorted.
What's up, Dano? What's up, GB?
Just chilling. We're testing out this after show thing, like we're gonna do after show Q&A for a little bit after the show. Gives people
Oh, nice. I was
opportunity.
just watching your YouTube. Also.
Nice. What? Why am I not following you? What the hell? I thought I was already following you. What the heck? Let's change that. All right.
Yeah, Twitter does glitch sometimes. Tell you that you aren't following somebody.
Well, yeah. I thought I followed you. What the heck? But now, all right. Now I changed that. That has changed. But Aussie, I was thinking you were gonna be like, "Hello, mate," you know, coming in with an Aussie, full on Aussie.
G'day, mate. No. Yeah, but Lee, I love your work, everything you're doing, and yeah, not always not always sort of, because it's like 2 o'clock in the morning or 3, or usually it's pretty early in the morning over this way of the world when I drop by, but yeah, always love what you're doing, and got a great community. Yeah, and yeah, obviously Gansler must be at YouTube controlling everything or something, because your numbers don't seem right.
Well, dude, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, no, you've been awesome. I love having you around. I love seeing your posts, and you've been watching for a while too. So you're OG.
Yeah, but yeah, no, this space is like when I first got in the last cycle, I've learned a lot of lessons, and got left holding the bag, or that sort of thing. But yeah, so this time around, I'm accumulating, whatever, and just holding strong. But yeah, it's so bullish with everything that's going on, especially with the Fed and all, the current government over there. But anyway, it's just been a lot of manipulation going on, I suppose, and
yeah,
we'll see what happens. But yeah, yeah. So anyway, no, it's bloody good.
Yeah, it's good times.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, with that gaming sort of side of things, I had when I first got in, I was floating around in the sandbox sort of space, and then watched that go up to about $12. Like, this is Aussie dollars, but and it was like, oh, it's getting, in those times, that was when Elon was sort of tweeting saying, oh, there's a dog barking at the moon, and Doge just kept pumping. And then we sort of got in the bit of the hype, kept buying. And then the Saturday Night Live thing happened, and we'll learn our lessons this time. But yeah, and that's why I sort of got into a bit of the gala, and when you zoom out at all them gaming charts at the moment.
I used to do a lot of gala games also.
Yeah, like all them charts are the same. They've all gone up, and now they're right down. I think the gaming things sort of.
I liked all the gala. I was yeah.
Oh,
I was so hyped for like more that they had, but they didn't really deliver on a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
We actually, one of my buddies is an old Gala Games dev.
Oh, okay, yeah. But yeah, no, bloody, I don't know. So yeah, the metaverse thing, it's
Oh man, I
just don't know how people are just going to sit at home and wear a headset, but it's a great thing. But I don't. Yeah, they're saying that you'll be able to go. You do everything just through a headset, but
full immersion.
Yeah, but yeah. So I've just like I got into at the moment. It's one that's been, I think it was a meme coin when it originally launched. UFO gaming, and if you check out what they're doing at the moment, yeah, and it's right down, then it's about 6 zeros 35, I think, the current price. But
it's right at the bottom.
Yeah, it's just drained, but with their building everything that's going on, yeah, I'm just sitting there, see what happens. But
yeah, if that went to all-time highs, that would be from the bottom right now. That is a 20,000% move to the upside.
Yeah, but
you could put $50 in there. I mean,
it's on Ethereum, so it's waiting on ETH to ETH to get a big run, sort of thing, and then I think it'll kick up a bit, but it might not go up to all-time highs again. But the thing is, there with a lot of people
you never know
about just getting the listings. You know, there's no real big listings like as in you know, exchanges. So, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, it's always good to even like if you have a bag, you know, you have your solid bag. You're like, this is the one, the conviction. Like I'm gonna, you know, and then you have these that are in the, you know, market cap rankings of maybe 5 mil or, you know, and you can see what it did, you know, in the last cycles, and it's always a gamble because you never know. I mean, we even see we've seen some of the meme communities like these tokens that were just dead, and then all of a sudden they get a CTO. And then they just run the dang thing up, and it's almost like you're like, can my old coin get a CTO, please?
Yeah,
community
it's just so many
takeover, you know.
Out there now, millions of coins. It's just, I'm hoping that, well, that's with the liquidity. I think it's just draining. You know, you still got more retail to come in, I suppose. But like the usual thing, it'll pump, and then everyone will start saying to you, "Is now a great time to buy?" And
Yep.
you should be buying now. But yeah, yeah, I just think there's so many bloody coins out there. It's just, yeah. But anyway,
yeah, the metaverse stuff is interesting because like I've still tried to keep like my finger on the dial with like, for instance, Sandbox or Mana, like Decentraland. Like I didn't mess around, actually test Sandbox, but I tested Decentraland, and it's funny because like I thought like companies were coming in there and they were making they're buying land and buying the NFT land and then creating a whole market storefront inside of the main city point. And
I played on Nifty Island. Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, you guys remember that? Did you ever test it?
Nifty Island, yeah, I helped do some stuff in there. It was really cool.
Oh, okay,
I jumped around a bit.
Yeah, and I feel like it's like it's just kind of like it was like a tester. It's like how, you know, when the internet first came out, and or also whenever like AOL instant messengers and just kind of the whole chat room idea, forums, like that was like the teaser. Then it started to morph into kind of what we have now. So it seems like we're just getting like a soft play of what's going to be really integrated with everything in the next couple years. I don't know. It's just hard to tell if it really is going to have that type of use case that I'm thinking, where it's like full immersion and companies are basically like completely like copied into the digital realm per the NFTs. But
do you guys ever play like PlayStation Home? You ever see that? Like PlayStation 3, they had like it was like a metaverse type sitch. Big brands in there, like Adidas selling Adidas shoes and Nike shirts and all these things. So Sony went through all the rigmarole of getting these companies onboarded back in the day. And, you know, it was probably objectively boring because all you did was walk around. It was like a boring Habbo, 3D, but boring. Wasn't much going on. Nifty Island's a bit colorful and there's something going on there. But I could totally see there being like a centralized kind of portal of sorts. Yeah. I guess that's what is Gala going for. I don't know much about Gala, to be honest, or any of that stuff. I didn't dabble. But yeah, a centralized point where people do congregate in a sense, hangout spaces, and then you could jump into, say, a Fortnite mode or whatever. Yeah. Rocket League mode.
Imagine having the Dano dojo and we all meet up in some some gaming thing. That would be pretty cool.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
I haven't really tested out. I'm not like, but it would be awesome. I wouldn't mind having something set up.
Yeah.
And in a room and just have it. But yeah, like if you can, well, you know, like play to earn or whatever. I don't even know. Like, you know, but it'd be good to be able to do all that sort of stuff and. Yeah, collect your coins or whatever you do to how do you actually make a few dollars out of it?
Yeah. Who knows?
Our community is making a retarded little 8-bit game right now. Just for fun.
Yeah, I've seen that. The Hoba guy's got somebody on a fun little platformer side scroller.
Yeah, little bits, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually glad. Yeah, a lot of people are coming together. It's cool.
Yeah, it's super awesome. It's a collaborative effort. As
Yeah,
it should
send
be.
me anything like that you're working on like that. Send it my way. Would love to see it.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah,
impressed. Like, I'd love to learn how to do that kind of stuff, or like rescan the game or something. Sprotify it, right? Like,
I still have the Sproto tank in Nifty Island too.
oh yeah,
I think
Fabi
Fabi
made
made that
those.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would actually we should plan to go into Decentraland and just like have a Decentraland party live on stream.
That'd be rad.
And we just
Yeah.
get the Sprotos, we get all the Sprotos, we get the Dojo crew, and we just raid
I think
Decentraland.
it's still pretty viable too. I had this buddy, Mr. Left House, and he's on Pulse Chain, but
Love Pulse Chain.
but he has like his own version of like a Decentraland little metaverse thing, and he's also a director too, so he makes movies and shit. But yeah, he would host parties like every week or whatever, like in this makeshift theater in the metaverse, and then like stream movies and do all this stuff and giveaways. He's a cool guy.
Nice. You were just reminding me about I think Ticker Bitcoin was posting it. It was like that something TV where they were streaming different movies. Like your community can
Senko.
host movies and then you can chat.
Yeah, Senko Television.
Yeah, Senko. Yeah,
Senko.
Yeah, it's under like the DMT token or something like that.
I didn't know they had a token, but yeah, is it Senko
DMT
Senko
token? I'm
TV?
buying.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Milady related project, and it's really clean.
like
Like it's a nice. I like what they got going on there. I don't know how much it's used. We haven't done movie night in a few months, I guess, a couple months. Fabi usually hosts them. He's been busy.
yeah. It's always movies that I'm into, like Ghost in the Shell, or like stuff like that, or some kind of Miyazaki
Yeah.
film.
Nice. I watched was it Small Soldiers yesterday. That's a classic.
Gosh, I haven't seen it. Man, I remember seeing that in the theaters when it came out.
Yeah, man. That like I had some of the action figures and stuff.
Yep, same.
Like it was totally a movie made about toys to sell toys, but it was also a critique of the toy industry and military industrial complex and technology.
Oh wait, did you say Small Soldiers? What do we call it?
Yeah, Small Soldiers.
Yeah. Oh, with the Gorgons and the
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
good shit.
so wild.
Yeah, it was a hot summer day, but in the evening, girlfriend and I watched that. It was just like the perfect summer times, Just watch a classic movie.
Nice.
God, now with advanced AI or AGI, we'll probably have those soon running from toys.
It's funny. Oh,
Yeah,
all
at
right.
the very end. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, I think I have to end this because I just realized like we've just been chatting it up. It's gone for an hour. I was like, oh, we're doing a Q&A for 10 minutes. My wife's probably like eyes rolling in the back of her head. Yeah, 10 minutes, my ass. It's just like you're probably gonna go for 45.
Island time.
Island time. Yeah, it's the way.
Show me the way.
But yeah, you guys are awesome. Thanks. I always say if anyone comes in, I say thanks for saving the Q&A.
No problem. If I got the time, I'll always pop in.
Let's go.
Nice to talk to everyone. I'm going to be traveling for a little while in my car and caravan. So I've got a couple of very sick family members I've got to go visit and hang out with for a bit. But I'll definitely try and drop by. But yeah, that's sort of why I've been missing in action for a little bit because
Well,
got a
prayers
couple-
and healing to your family, your sick family members, and glad you're going to see him, get some time in, and
yeah,
safe travels. Yeah.
So yeah, no worries. Then yeah, it's great catching up.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, God
Nice
bless.
talking
God
to
bless you
Nice
guys.
meeting you. Peace.
All right, catch you soon. See you.
All right. Peace out. All right. Well, that was fun, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're just testing this out. So it's a Q&A at the end of the live streams, and it's an opportunity for you guys to come in and, we can just chat. It's a lot of fun. But all right. We will see you guys on the next live stream. Thanks for coming in. Have a good rest of the day. Peace.